UV here, Lime Cellular. Thank you for joining us today. It's 2:02 in the East Coast, and we'll jump right in. I'm going to talk a couple minutes about our update from today. You all got an email from the system. What we did, we basically enhanced our credit system. It worked very well. It's just, I believe, was a little bit confusing to understand it. So we saw a lot of calls coming in explaining it, but once we explained it, you guys were okay with the way it's working. So we thought to make a small modification that is available starting today, and this is how it goes. So the dashboard of advertiser account, admin account, it doesn't matter, it all works the same way, which means your credits balance with us or your customers with you. It's the same type of relationship. So what we did, we created basically three different or we displayed in three different categories, so it's all clear. Again, nothing has really changed in the billing or in the way we calculate credits. It's just the way we display it. So, for example, with free credits, or the credits are included in the package that you give your customers, that will be displayed as balance. And the balance will be starts with if I got 1,000, so I'll start with 1,000 out of 1,000, and then it will start counting down until I finish my free credits. Now, if you gave 0 free credits to your customers, then we won't display it at all. Okay, so balance is really the free credits you're giving your customers, and it will start to count down from, in this case, from 1,000 down to 0. And in this case, 830, I have 830 left to use as of my free credits. Prepaid is if you have prepaid rollover credits that customers purchased from you or you guys purchased from us, right? It will be under prepaid. And then this will count down as well. And what we added is this nice tooltip. So when you mouse over each one of them, you will get like a brief explanation about what it does and what it is basically. This is a screenshot, so the picture is not dynamic. But basically, balance shows this. Prepaid is if you bought prepaid credit, and it will count down as well. So if you had 1,000 prepaid credits and 1,000 free included in your package, it will start with the free, use them all, and then take from your prepaid credits. Then it will go to overages. And again, this may sound a little bit too much, but that's because I included all the options. Normally, if you sell prepaid credits, you're not giving free credits, so you're only going to see prepaid and overages. If you give free credits, normally they're not also pre-buying from you, so you'll see the balance and overages. So in a normal situation, it's very clear or very simple. But in this case, we did a scenario, what if you have free credits, you're buying prepaid from the company, and then you use overages, which means you use all your free credits, you use all your prepaid, now you go to overages. Overages will be in red, and it will count up, which means here I still didn't start using my overages, so I used 0 out of 2,000, which this is basically my overdraft limit. Overdraft limit 2,000, so it's right in front of the customer and it's clear, and they know what's their overdraft, what the limits are on the account. So basically the system will start from here, then use the prepaid, then use the overages. If there's no prepaid, obviously we won't use it, and if there's no free credits, we won't even display it, that they have any free credits included. And overages will count up, so if I used 1, it will be 1 out of 2,000 that I can use as overages. What else? Same with MMS credits. And just one thing regarding the calculations. Now, in this scenario where I have 1,000 free and 2,000 overages, which means my total limit is 3,000, because you give me 1,000 free, or I get 1,000 free, and then I have 2,000 more to withdraw as an overdraft limit. So make sure you're checking your packages and your overages and overdraft limits, so you make sure that this is basically included in the package, and this is the limit you want them to send in total. So it's this plus this, and not just 2,000 like it was before. So again, make sure overages are at the limits you want to set them. If you have any questions, just pop them here on the chat here, and Michelle will reply to you. So that's all my update for today. That's what we launched today. We have some cool stuff coming, but we'll wait after the holidays, and we'll announce it to you as well. So again, we have a special guest today, Bobbi-Jo. She's a friend and a customer, and also a famous speaker. And I'll give her the stage now, and enjoy her presentation. Hold on. Bobbi, you here?
Yep, I'm here. Hi, UV. Hello, everybody. And UV, I just need to get my screen on.
Okay. Here you go.
Okay, great. And UV, is it possible to unmute everybody? If everybody's in a quiet environment, I'd like everybody to use some of their voice today.
Is it possible to unmute everyone?
Yeah.
Technically it is. From my experience, it's a disaster because it's echoing all over the place.
All right, should we give it a try? Let's give it a try, and you know, and see if we can make that work. Otherwise, we'll switch off onto mute.
Let me see if I can do it. I think I don't think I can do it from here, but let's just. Is it better if they raise their hand? We can individually.
That's right. We'll use the chat box. So okay, all right. Well,
no, they can speak. It's just I need to unmute one by one if they want to say something. That's
no problem. I was going for the group, so no worries there.
Okay.
Let's dive into this. So, all right. Well, hello to everybody, my fellow Lime Cellular colleagues. How are you doing? And how are you feeling? How are you feeling? Because for me, well, I'm excited to be here with you right now, and here's why. In 12 days, it's going to be 2017. And that means we all get a reset button. We all get a chance to be better. So friends, I want you to step up and participate on this call today. And we're going to make use of the chat box quite a lot throughout the presentation. So go ahead and get your chat boxes open. And what I want you to tell me now is, in your chat box, you can say aye, you can say yes, whatever works for you. Have you ever started a new year saying that this year is going to be better? This year is going to be different. Use your chat box. Give me an aye, give me a yes. Who said that? Nobody. Do we have a chat function working? All right, well, let's just go forward with that. And have you ever made New Year's resolutions? Have you ever made goals or set goals in the new year that you didn't achieve by the end of the year? And if you did, you know, get a yes in the chat box for that. And then lastly here,
Bobby, you got like 50 yeses here, just to update you. I'm sorry.
really, I'm not seeing it in the chat.
I'll be your voice, but you got a
Okay,
lot of...
go ahead. Yuvi, if you can reply and show, and that would be awesome. Can you say what you're getting back in the chat? That's great to hear.
You got yes from Alexis, Gilbert, Mark, Mary, JR,
Awesome.
John, on and on and on.
Okay, great.
Carolyn, Don, David.
Okay, nice team, nice. All right, now, and then lastly, have you ever had the feeling that things would be different and they would be better for you if you just got out of your own way? Give us a yes in the chat box for that, and Yuvi will count back to me. All right, we got yeses coming in, Yuvi?
Yeses with exclamation points.
Okay, I love it.
Yes, that is true from Rick. Brad said no, but that's the only no we got.
That's all right, fair enough. Okay, so now how many of you want to make more money in your text marketing business in 2017? Okay, put a yes in the chat box for that also. Yuvi, who wants to make more money in 2017 with text marketing?
Funny, everyone said no. I'm kidding. You got heck yeah from Edward and all yeses. That's the plan, JR. Count
Great.
me in from Eric. I need more money. There's a lot here.
All right, very good. Now, and then how many of you also, you not only do you want to make more money, you want to be better business people. And what I mean by here is you as a person. You know, who here wants to step up to a new level in your thinking and your being? Say aye, give us a yes in the chat. What do you see, you?
Brad is funny. He just checked if we're actually reading it. That's why I said no. But you got of course from Tracy and yeses. It's about time, all that kind of stuff.
All right, love it. All right, and now, and finally here, how many of you are excited? You're excited about the possibility that 2017, this new year, is going to be your best year ever?
I am, yes, hell yeah, I'm hopeful, heck yeah.
Great. Great. All right, and so on. All right, so let me take a few minutes here. I'm going to tell you my story and how I got into mental toughness. And I'll notice something very curious here. Yuvi didn't say my last name, and I won't hold that against you. I am Bobbi-Jo Romanishan, and Romanishan is Ukrainian. This is my family name. It's my dad and my grandfather's name. And being Ukrainian, we're really hard workers. And so I grew up on a small farm in eastern Pennsylvania. My dad was a union factory worker for Mack Trucks, the big automotive, they make the rigs, the big rigs, the 18-wheelers and such, in Allentown, Pennsylvania. And some of you here may know the song by Bobbi-Jo, Allentown. So give me a yes in the chat box if you know this song, Allentown by Bobbi-Jo. Anybody knows Allentown, Yuvi?
Oh yeah, a lot.
All right, yeah. And in the song, Bobbi-Jo sings, and they're closing all the factories down. Well, now that may be a great song, but that's literally where I grew up. And in the 70s, the Allentown region, the Lehigh Valley, well, it was full of farms and factories, coal factories, cement factories, steel factories, etc., etc. So Dad was a union factory worker for Mack. One of my other uncles worked for Mack Trucks. I had another uncle who worked for Bethlehem Steel. So you can see this was a very blue-collar, working-class family. And I didn't really have any blessings handed to me. You know, we worked for everything we had, and we barely got by in some cases. Now, I'm in the mental toughness business because I'm challenged by mental toughness. You know, sometimes you have to teach what you most need to learn. And I've battled my whole life with being stuck in my beliefs and old ways of thinking that were handed down to me. So To be a little open and transparent here, you need to know I love my family. Yet I grew up in this very negative and critical environment. My dad was an alcoholic, and not a violent one. He used alcohol to check out from the world, because he gave up on his dreams. My brother and my sister, they didn't graduate from high school. And I am the oldest of 9 grandchildren. And I'm the first person in my family to go to college. I wanted a different life. And as I went about doing so, I kept hitting up against these walls. I kept making excuses and I kept sabotaging myself. I couldn't get past my beliefs that I wasn't lovable. And I didn't believe I was good enough. So how many of you out there, how many of you can relate to this? Give me some feedback here in the chat. What do you see, Yuvi?
Absolutely, I see.
Yeah? Yeah.
That's what they wrote, not absolutely, I see it. But
Yeah.
absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I did.
Yeah.
I understand. Me. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You see, we all have a story. So in my adulthood, I was and currently, I'm very entrepreneurial. So in fact, the reason I started my own businesses was because I was afraid of ending up miserable and unhappy like my dad, working for somebody else. So about 2 years ago, after the birth of my second son, I started a travel company. I love traveling, and I wanted my kids to see the world. So this business was quite successful. I found a niche. I found a niche selling luxury group travel events to America's top private clubs. So there I was, traveling with private clubs to Europe and to Napa Valley, and how cool is that, right? Yet there was this one club that I really wanted, the Union League of Philadelphia, the #1 private club in the country. I was already working with other top clubs in the U.S., and I had this proven track record, so I wasn't any newbie at this. But when it came down to calling the Union League, well, let me tell you, all those old limiting beliefs were still there, and I kept making excuses, lots of excuses, and I kept procrastinating on calling this club's general manager. Inside, there was that voice that was saying, Bobbi-Jo, who are you to call the Union League of Philadelphia? You're just this little blue-collar farming girl from Nowhere Township, Pennsylvania, Allentown. We're on the decline. And this voice would go on and on telling me I'm not good enough, I'm not educated enough, I'm not experienced enough, I'm not, I'm not sophisticated enough, I'm too young, I'm too fat, whatever, and on and on. And it wasn't until I faced my fears and I took ownership. I took ownership of my limiting beliefs, and basically I got out of my own way. And I made that call to the Union League of Philadelphia. And yes, long story short, they became a client of mine. And that's where we're headed today. So in about the next 45 minutes, we're going to take a look at what mental toughness is. We're going to explore your mindset and what you need to develop within your mindset to step up to a higher level in 2017. And we're going to take a look at how your thoughts and beliefs are actually created and how to go about changing them. Okay, we're going to go into the mental toughness magic formula, the magic formula. And at the end, I'm going to have a challenge for you, so stay tuned for that. So my personal promise to you is this. If you will take the mental toughness process to heart, and if you start shifting your mindset, you will knock 2017 out of the ballpark. So let's get started on that. Now, team, friends, there are 3 mental toughness themes and 1 rule that we're going to cover today. How many themes? Yuvi, what are they saying in the chat box?
3.
Yes, and how many rules?
How many rules?
Right.
1?
One, exactly. Great.
I think they're listening to you.
All right, I love it. To introduce our first theme, let's do a visualization. So, friends, get comfortable in your seats and maybe even close your eyes. And in your mind's eye,
I won't be able to read the chat.
no, fair enough. And in your mind's eye now, picture yourself holding a lemon in your hand. Feel its weight and feel its texture. Now take that lemon and place it upon a cutting board on top of a kitchen countertop. Take out a sharp knife and cut the lemon in half. Now take each half and cut that in half so that you have 4 lemon wedges, 4/4 of lemon. Pick up one of the lemon wedges in your hand. Take it up to your mouth, open wide, and take a big bite of lemon. And if I could see your faces, you may be grimacing. So if you're grimacing, get it in the chat box, since I can't see you. And chances are you may be salivating too. And my point here is this: a thought is a thing. A thought is a thing. Through the power of your own mind, you created a physical response in your body. You didn't need to see the lemon, feel the lemon, or taste the lemon. A thought is a thing. And because of your past experiences eating lemons, your brain has been programmed with how to respond, automatically and unconsciously. So let me repeat that last point one more time here. It's a key point. Because of your past experiences, your brain has been programmed with how to respond, automatically and unconsciously. And we'll be coming back to this idea later on. So our thoughts have presence and they have impact in our lives. A thought is a thing. And this sets up our first theme for mental toughness. So everybody get some pen and some paper. You're going to want to start writing some of this stuff down now. Okay, a thought is a thing. I become what I think about most of the time. I become what I think about most of the time. Now, tell me in the chat box, your experience tasting the lemon, was it pleasant? Was it fun and overly enjoyable? Yes or no? In the chat. Yuvi, what do you got coming in?
Very sour.
Yeah.
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 If you don't mind, I used lime, not lemon. Is it okay?
I believe that's an okay substitute. It serves the point. So no, it wasn't the greatest experience of all. You know, it was icky. You know, it was sour. It was bitter tasting. You know, in some cases it may have even been painful for you. But you survived it, right? You got through it. And that sets up our second theme for mental toughness. I am comfortable being uncomfortable. I am comfortable being uncomfortable. Mental toughness is the arena of stepping outside of your comfort zone, willfully pushing your boundaries and stepping up to that new higher level. I am comfortable being uncomfortable. And I'm here talking with you today because many of you on the upfront here have told me that you want to make more money in 2017 in your text marketing business and you want to be better business people. So, in the chat box, who wants change? Who wants to see this type of change? Give us a yes in the chat box. Tell UV yes, you want to see this change next year.
Yeah.
What do we got coming in?
Yes, and me, exclamation point. Who wants to change me?
All right, who wants change? Great. Who wants to change? Who's willing to change? So if you're willing to change. What's that?
Sergio said big time.
Big time, yeah. So good for you if you're stepping up that you recognize that I want to change. You know, many times we can hear crickets chirping at this point. We all want change, but nobody wants to change. Change is uncomfortable. I have to be comfortable being uncomfortable. So it's nearly impossible to make real improvements in our lives and prosper in our businesses unless we see, think, and do things differently. Mental toughness is an inside job. We have to do the deep work inside of us. So our third theme for mental toughness, I have to change. I am responsible. And the bigger question here is this: who do I have to become? Who do I have to become to be a successful, empowered entrepreneur and create the life I have imagined? Who do I have to become? So our three themes: I become what I think about most of the time, I am comfortable being uncomfortable, and I have to change. I am responsible. Who do I have to become? Now, I also said that we have one rule, and this is rule number 6. Does anybody know what rule number 6 is? Anything coming in the chat? Okay, fair enough. Rule number 6, don't take it so seriously. You gotta have fun with this. Becoming mentally tough is a journey. It's a marathon, not a sprint. It's a process. Mental toughness is a process, and it takes time. So while you're doing this good work, be sure to stop, smell the roses, and enjoy the ride. Okay, fair enough? All in favor say aye in the chat. All right, we got some ayes, UV?
Yeah, you got a lot of ayes.
Okay, great. All right, well, friends, we are ready to rock. So my goal here today is to help you understand this. Your most precious resource is your mind. It is your mind's ability to think, plan, and decide that is the greatest force for good in your life. And that's what mental toughness is. Mental toughness is the empowerment of your mindset and attitude. Mental toughness is what drives your performance in any area of your life. So who here has heard this expression? Life is 10% what happens to you and 90% how you react to it. Who here has heard this? Give us a yes in the chat box. What's coming in, UV? We got a bunch of yeses?
Yes, I've heard it. Yes, yes, yep.
Yeah. So in life, there are only 3 things that you get to control. You get to control your actions, your reactions, and your mindsets, your thoughts. So mental toughness, we also call it grit, is all about winning the internal head game. It's all about getting everything in your head working for you and not against you. So you're coming into 2017 right now, and you want to set up 2017 for success. And you need, in order to do so, you need to develop this mindset. No more excuses. No more excuses! Look, friends, excuses are a dime a dozen. As long as you keep making excuses, you will justify staying where you are. Excuses give you permission to settle for less. They give you a reason to be comfortable and to remain complacent. And I don't think you're here on this phone because you want to settle for mediocrity. Now, in all fairness and truthfulness here, like some of you, I didn't achieve all of my goals for my text marketing business in 2016. I started with UV and Lime back in May, and I was adding this on as a secondary business. I wanted to generate a passive income stream as I go about with mental toughness speaking and private coaching. And let me tell you, all through the summer and fall, I kept making excuses. Well, it's the summer and the boys are out of school and I don't have time. And then it was the fall and it's like, well, geez, now I'm traveling and I've got Florida and I've got San Diego for these speaking engagements. I'll get to it later. So making excuses, it's easy, isn't it? It's easy to blame the kids' summer schedule, and it's easy to blame my speaking engagements. But really, those are just surface excuses. If I'm candidly honest with myself and I dig deeper, my biggest excuse, I'm afraid of rejection. I'm afraid that people aren't going to sign up. I'm afraid that they're going to say no and they're going to hate this idea. And they're going to think that text marketing is an invasion of privacy. Now that's me. Those are my excuses. Let's make it real in your world. What are your excuses? What's in your excuse bag? So let's get some of your excuses into the chat box. So start typing, friends. What excuses are holding you back from building your text marketing business? And Yuvi, you can shout out what you're getting out here.
Let's see. Robert said it sounds like you're talking about me, not me.
Robert, there's no comparison here or between Bobby and Robert. You know, it just happens.
Yeah. People said rejection, inexperience.
Good one, yep.
Haven't managed my time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's a lot more. Tequila.
Hey, right there with me. Bring on the worm. 100% agave.
Yeah, there's all a bunch.
Okay, great. Now, as you go through the chat box, if you see any excuses in there that are similar for you, pull those out. Write those down. Okay, so that you have, you know, take some things out of this so that you know what you need to go back to your desk for and what you need to work on. So if you want to step up to a new level in 2017, you've got to get rid of your excuses. You need to develop this no excuses mindset. Now, in developing your no excuses mindset, I want you to have a picture of what I believe mental toughness looks like. And I came up with this image a little while ago when I was working with a client in Wisconsin. And this person works for a large commercial concrete company. They pour obscene amounts of concrete, you know, for everything from shopping malls to warehouses. And I know more about concrete now than I've ever wanted to know. So in your mind's eye right now, picture a concrete office building with several floors. This office building is your life. And all the floors are the different areas of your life, from your business and career, your finances, your family, your health, your spirituality, and so on. Now, let's take a closer look at the concrete structure of your office building and tell me, what's inside the concrete that gives it its structural integrity and makes it stronger and keeps it from fracturing and crumbling apart? What's inside concrete? So get that in the chat box. I know a bunch of you know this. Yuvi, what do you see?
Iron bars.
Iron bars. Yeah, rebar.
Rebar.
Rebar, exactly, rebar. And that's what mental toughness is. Mental toughness is your mental rebar. It's the internal structural framework of your mind and its ability to successfully handle anything that life throws at you, and not hopefully will break down. And why is that important? Because outside your office building of life, well, the sun is not always shining, is it? No. In the course of our days, there are countless events outside of our control, and they are knocking at our doors, and these events will do everything from annoying us to trying your patience, and at times, they will violently rock our foundations and give us stress fractures. Those stress fractures, we call them gray hair. So how strong is your internal framework? How strong is your toughness? Now Nietzsche had it right. That which does not kill us makes us stronger. We develop and we increase our mental toughness as we face new challenges and as we take risks. So as we overcome obstacles and when we move beyond our failures and setbacks, we build our mental toughness. We get comfortable being uncomfortable. So friends, you see, it's not about just getting through it. It's not about getting through the stress or getting through the pressure and the anxiety. Mental toughness is bigger than that. It's about embracing the suck, as we say, and growing. It's about being your best possible higher self, stepping up inside yourself to a new to a higher level of performance and well-being. So once again, this is the big game arena of feeling the fear, feeling the stress, feeling the anxiety, and doing it anyway, and pushing beyond, pushing well beyond your comfort zone, your boundaries. So to circle back, once again, your most precious resource is your mind. Life is 10% what happens to you, 90% how you react to it. And all these things in life that happen to us, what is your mindset when they occur? Do you see them as problems, or do you see them as opportunities? What's going on in your head? Is the glass half empty, or do you see the glass half full? Do you think, oh, great, how am I going to handle this now? Or do you say, all right, I've got this. I can handle it. What are you saying to yourself? Now, the great news is that unlike talent and intelligence, which are a part of our DNA structure, mental toughness is learned. Mental toughness is learned. Anyone can increase his or her own mental toughness. And taking a cue from Arnold and Grace Jones here from Conan, mental toughness is a muscle. It's a muscle, and it gets stronger with use. And the formula for this is quite simple. Change your mindset, change your game. Change your mindset, change your game. I become what I think about most of the time. So there it is, that word change again. So real quick in your chat box, who has to change? And I should be seeing a bunch of I have to change coming in there. UV, can you confirm that? I have to change.
I am, me,
Right.
I have to, me. Yep.
Great. Okay, and this is why mental toughness is so important, because everything comes with a price. Everything comes with a price. Whether it's a personal goal or a career ambition, everything comes with this price. Will you quit when it gets tough and you face challenges, and time and time again when people are saying no to you, that they're not going to buy text marketing services? And then at that point when you fail and you may fall flat on your face, in this business endeavor, are you going to pick yourself back up and keep going? Can you be comfortable being uncomfortable? So if changing your mindset is the key to winning this game, then who do you have to become? Who do you need to become the successful, empowered entrepreneur and business owner you want to be? Who do you need to become to make that vision a reality? Which means to set up 2017 for success, you also need to shift your mindset about yourself. You need to step up on the inside. Now I'm going to share an important mindset lesson that I learned from one of my own coaches, a man by the name of Alan Weiss. And if I were to ask you, how many of you are text marketing service providers? A bunch of hands would fly up. I get a bunch of ayes and yeses in the chat box, and that would be wrong. It would be incorrect. What you are is an expert. You are an expert. Now, you may be an expert that provides text marketing services, but bottom line, first and foremost, you are an expert. You see, friends, you need to understand text marketing, it's a commodity. It's a commodity and it's non-differentiated. Nobody cares that you sell text marketing. Nobody cares. Yet, nonetheless, there are people and businesses out there that need text marketing services. And what will they compare you on? Tell me in the chat box. When you're selling a commodity, what will you be compared on? Commodities. What will you be compared on? UV, what do you see in the chat?
Oh, price.
Price. Exactly. Price. You will be compared on price. Now, when you're an expert, you determine how your expertise is communicated. And many of you unintentionally and unconsciously devalue yourselves, and you constrain your expertise. You don't allow yourself to do the things you can do because you don't have a greater vision for yourself. Instead, you see yourself simply as a text marketing service provider. Let's go back here a moment. I want you to pay attention to something that may have happened for you here. When I said a moment ago that you are an expert, did you sit up a little taller? Did you feel a little prouder? Did you feel a little bolder? Tell us in the chat. Did you feel more empowered? I am an expert. Yuvi, what do you see?
Yes, I did. Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah. Friends, that is a mindset shift. That is your higher self, your authentic self kicking into gear. And that's where you need to get yourself to. So, people will respect you, they will promote you, and they will pay you for your expertise based on how you value yourself and how you protect yourself to the world. How you project yourself to the world. So your task for 2017, step up on the inside. Develop a greater vision for yourself as an expert in text marketing. And commit to being in the top 10% of this industry and your particular marketplace. We all have our own specialties within this industry. So no matter what the challenges are and no matter how long it takes, commit to being in the top 10% of text marketing. When you take ownership of your expertise and you practice excellence in your craft, you will rise to the challenge. And that starts with dedicating an hour. Dedicate an hour of your time each day to your education and your improvement. That means read about the text marketing industry, take professional development courses, attend webinars like this one. And then, what one skill do you need to develop in 2017 that would change this game for you? And we've heard some of those before. Go back to your excuses. Okay. Do you need to be more disciplined and get your day under control? Do you need real sales coaching? And if you do, I have a referral for you. Ask me about it. Do you need to learn to say no to all those other things that want your time? What about your health? Do you need to take better care of you? Do you need to take better care of your diet and exercise so that you have more energy? Do you need to learn how to become more mentally tough? What one skill could you develop in 2017 that would start changing this game for you? So write it down and get it on paper.
Michelle just showed me that you see it under questions, not chat. Can you see it? If you open questions?
I don't see questions. No.
No.
That's okay. We'll keep moving along. It's working.
All right.
Okay. Once again, when you have a greater vision for your life and you set the bar that you're an expert, you will rise to the challenge. And with your mental toughness mindset, you will push through the adversarial stuff. You will find new creative ways to overcome what's in your way. And you'll have this tenacity, this perseverance to stay in the game as long as your business advances despite the setbacks and failures. I have this great expression that I use with myself when I'm having a so-called bad day. I can quit tomorrow. And as long as I keep saying I can quit tomorrow, well, that just keeps pushing it out, and it forces me to dig deeper into myself and figure out what I need to do here. So friends, let's pause for a moment. Can you see how making excuses and not declaring a higher bar for yourself holds you back and keeps you stuck? Can you see that? If so, say I, or yes in the chat box, whatever you want to get in there. And Yuvi, give us some info.
Yes. A lot of
Okay.
yeses.
All right, so next, we're going to take a few moments to acknowledge the other person who came with you on the call today. And I don't mean your friends or colleagues. I'm talking about the person who got up with you this morning and started whispering in your ear. Why are you on this coaching call? You don't have time for this. You know, you've got a lot of work you need to get done before the weekend here. And then you did get on the coaching call today, and that's when the comparison started. You know, you're really not that mentally tough. This may work for others. It's not going to work for you. And absolutely, positively, don't write anything in the chat box that shows that you're weaker than others. Now, does it stop there? No, it doesn't. So this weekend, when the holidays hit and you're with your friends and your family, look at all this great food and all these delicious desserts. But you're on a diet. Hey, now's my chance to eat as much as I want before I start my diet in the new year in January. So that, friends, is the voice in the head. So give me a yes in the chat box. Honestly now, who here has heard this voice in their head? Say aye or give us a yes. Yuvi?
Yeah, you got a yep, yes, I.
Yep. Okay. And this is the other person with us today and every day. This is the voice of the inner critic. This is the voice of self-doubt and the self-saboteur. This is the voice that keeps you from building your mental toughness muscle. And it's this voice that holds us down and it holds us back, and it is the #1 killer of success. The greatest inhibitor to any of us achieving our goals are our self-limiting beliefs. This is our negative self-talk, our internal dialogue of hopelessness, helplessness, worthlessness that says it's not going to happen for me, I can't do it, I'm not good enough, I'm not experienced enough, this isn't going to work, they're never going to buy, and on and on and on, and it drowns out the good stuff in us. So how are you talking to yourself? What are you saying to yourself? My job as an expert in mental toughness is to help you get a hold of that voice of self-doubt and turn it around. Turn it around to your other voice so that when things do get hard and challenging, you will call upon your mental toughness and you'll have that perseverance and determination to go on despite the setbacks, the embarrassment, the shame. My goodness. Now, let's go way back. In building your mental toughness muscle, you've got to bust up some of your own self-limiting beliefs. And these are beliefs that are deeply internalized within you, and we're going to go there now. So remember your lemons. A thought is a thing. Through the power of your own mind, you create a physical response in your body. You didn't need to see the lemon, you didn't need to taste it. Okay? And because of your past experience, your mind is already programmed with how to respond, automatically and unconsciously. I become what I think about most of the time. So how do you overwrite your existing beliefs? How do you do it? And actually, it's quite simple. You build your mental toughness mindset, and you rewrite your old self-limiting beliefs by taking full control of your thinking. Full control. Not partial control, not somewhat control, not occasional control. Take full control of your thinking. That's it. That's all you need to do. Take full control of your thinking. Now, chances are, as you ponder this idea, some of you, many of you, okay, probably most of you, you don't believe me. The voice in your head may be saying that it's not possible to take control of your thinking. Well, I said it was simple. I didn't say it was easy. You must understand and embrace with full conviction that you become what you think about most of the time. Now these words, you become what you think about most of the time, were said by Brian Tracy. He summed it up perfectly. You are who you are, what you are, and where you are in life because of yourself and nothing else. Nature is neutral. Nature doesn't care if you're a success or a failure. Go back to our first principles of mental toughness. I have to change. I am responsible. I am responsible for my actions, my reactions, and my mindset. So in the course of your day, are you controlling your thoughts and emotions, or are your thoughts and emotions controlling you? And if you were to pay close attention to your thoughts, chances are you would find that most of the time your mind is stuck on autopilot, or in reverse. I call it reverse autopilot. Most of the time we're not thinking. We're remembering. We're reliving something from our past. Okay, or you might be futurizing a scenario. You may have earworms, songs playing in your head, remembering a song, but what you're not doing is that you're not thinking. And maybe you're not thinking anything bad, but the point is this: you're not thinking. And the goal is to move yourself into the present moment. Move your mind into the present moment and actively think, consciously think, and positively think. So active, conscious, positive thinking. Take control of what you're saying to yourself and keep yourself focused on what you want. You want the voice in your head talking to you about what you want and how to get it, instead of thinking about what you don't want, which you probably already have. I become what I think about most of the time. So again, take full control of your thinking. So to help you get to what you want to have and who you want to be, these outcomes and the goals that you strive for, it will help to have the mental toughness magic formula. So again, get your pencil and paper ready. We're going to take some notes here, because here it is, the mental toughness magic formula that you have been waiting for. Our thoughts and beliefs create our actions and behaviors. Our actions and behaviors create our results. So if there's a particular result that you want in life, the first step is to examine your current thoughts and beliefs around that result and your ability to achieve it. And this is a big part of what we do in mental toughness coaching. We call it critical thinking. It's a process of critically examining and assessing your thoughts and beliefs. So if it's a thought or belief that holds you back, we call those self-limiting beliefs. Now, if you look at the top, there's one part of the magic formula they're still missing, that blank line above the words thoughts and beliefs. So if our thoughts and beliefs create our actions and behaviors, and our actions and behaviors create our results, where then do our thoughts and beliefs come from? Okay, how do we get those? And let's see if we can get some answers in the chat box. Anything coming in, UV? UV? Our thoughts and beliefs are created by our programming, and you can add that to the magic formula. And this is the reason why our mouths grimace and we salivate it when we think of biting into a lemon. It's part of our programming. Our programs are the most often repeated messages that we've received from the world around us, and we've internalized them into our brain structure. These actually become physical, chemical, neural pathways within our minds. So the point here is that our brains are not unlike a computer, and you've probably heard this before. Our brains are wired, they're programmed, and from the moment you've been born, every single message that you've received from the world around you has been recorded in your brain. So everything you say, everything you see, everything you do, and everything you hear, all those messages you receive repeatedly, they get wired in, and they become your programs. And the key to wiring our brains is just that: repetition, 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 repetition. Now, there's a part of your brain that stores all these messages, and that part of the brain doesn't know if a message is true or false, good or bad, or positive or negative. It just stores the messages. But here's the kicker. Our brains act on all these messages as though they are true because that's what the brain is designed to do. And the research out there makes it worse. The research out there tells us that as much as 70% of the messages that you and I have, our programs, are false, harmful, or working against us in some way. So what our subconscious minds are? Our subconscious minds are one big feedback loop of the conscious thoughts that have already been sent to it. Which means, friends, garbage in, garbage out. Good stuff in, good stuff out. How are you talking to yourself? What are you feeding your mind? I become what I think about most of the time. And this is why we say that mental toughness is so very important. Every single conscious thought you have, well, there's 5,000 other subconscious thoughts behind it. When I say that you become what you think about most of the time, friends, I mean it. Do not underscore the importance and significance of this. To move beyond your self-limiting beliefs, you have to reprogram your mind. You have to reprogram your mind. And we all have the ability to do this. We can literally change any thought or belief about ourselves, regardless of our age, regardless of our upbringing, our social standing. Scientifically, it's called neuroplasticity, the neuroplasticity of the mind. So since I become what I think about most of the time, it means that I can become anything I want because I control my thoughts. And if you can live this, you will unlock the keys to your kingdom and life will pay you whatever price you ask of it. Do you really want to know what mental toughness is at its core? Mental toughness is freedom. So you need to reprogram your mind. And you do this the same way that you got programmed in the first place, through repetition. Repetition, repetition, repetition. Consistent repetition. You constantly and consistently and consciously fill your mind with positive, empowering thoughts about your greater vision, yourself as an expert, and what you need to do to accomplish it. So when negative, self-defeating thoughts enter your mind, and they will, you recognize them, you see them, and you redirect those negative thoughts to these other positive, empowering thoughts that are in alignment with what you truly want. If you are a parent, or if you spent time with toddlers, picture a 2-year-old that's always getting into things that it shouldn't be. And what did you do? You redirected the toddler, you redirected the child. And that's what you do with your thoughts. You must learn to redirect them. You have to recognize them, be aware of them, and redirect them. You need to become hyper-aware of how you're thinking and what you're saying to yourself so that you can get yourself back on track to what you need to be thinking about, what you want, and how to get it. Think about what you want and not what you don't want. So, again, basically simple, but it takes time and consistent effort. Taking full control of your thoughts is a deliberate practice. And with time, effort, and consistency, you will begin to write those neural pathways in your head, and you'll reprogram your thoughts and beliefs, which are then going to have a direct impact on your actions and behaviors, things that you're doing, and then ultimately give you the results that you want. Now, my friends, we're coming to the end of our time here, and I've given you a simplified version of all of this. And it's one thing to learn the theory behind it, but it's another thing to make it real and to apply it in your life. So you all know the game here. I will send you this slide deck. And if you want the slide deck for this webinar, and what I'll also do is I'll send an article on, mental toughness article on the differences between middle class and world class thinking. So you all know how to do this. If you want the slide deck and the article on middle class and world class thinking, then text the word mindset to 71441 and follow those prompts. And you can do that at your leisure here. Now, I also said that I was going to give you a challenge. So I'm going to give you a challenge and a gift. Again, you have to make it real in your world. So for the rest of the day, pay attention to what you're thinking. Consciously build some awareness around your thoughts and what the voice in your head is doing, what it's saying to you. Pay attention to what you think when you interact with people today. And if you have younger kids, here's a good one. Pay attention to how many times you say no to your kids today. And this is where you start. You start with building awareness of your existing thoughts and beliefs. And if you take this challenge to do this for the rest of the day and pay attention to what you're thinking and give me some feedback on that, I'm going to pay you back with a 30-minute private coaching session. Now, we've got 46 people left on the call here today. Most of you won't do this. And it's not, I don't mean to be rude or judgmental, it's simply stats, simply statistics. But for those of you who have found real value in this webinar, and you want to keep the momentum going today and take this challenge, sign up for the slide deck and you'll get a text reminder on how to opt in for the challenge and the free coaching call. So what I hope you can see here, mental toughness is not bravado. It's not using your mind to hammer through something. It's much bigger than that. Mental toughness is rooted in a spirit-based consciousness. It's about being your best possible higher self, where you shift from competing against everybody else, competing against others, and you shift to creating, where the only person you're competing against is yourself. Now, as you go about this, remember rule number 6. Don't take it too seriously. Have fun with it. So if anybody wants to hang out here for another moment, let's get some lessons learned. Give Yuvi and me some feedback. What did you learn from today's webinar? Throw some things in the chat box. And Yuvi, do we still have you on the call?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, great. Anybody throwing in some lessons learned in the chat box? What did you learn today? What did you get out of today's presentation?
To have fun, to take control of my thoughts.
All right, anything else? What do you see as you scroll through?
I need to be more forceful.
Yeah. What else do you see?
One thought equal 5,000 subconscious.
Yeah.
Get rid of negative thoughts.
Yep. What else you see?
Changing my mindset will be an ongoing process.
Exactly. Great. All right. Excellent. Excellent work, team. Thank you, friends. Everybody, have an excellent holiday season. Happy holidays. Best wishes for an outstanding, fabulous, knock it out of the park 2017. 2017, bring it on.
All right. Thank you very much. It was great. I think there was a research that Lime customers are one of the best students in the world.
Yep.
So again, thank you everyone for spending this past hour with us. Stay tuned for even better 2017. We see that 2016 was a very good year for us and for the market. Things are growing. Even the two candidates we had, Hillary and Trump, used texting, and it's all that helps the awareness of text marketing. And I think 2017 is going to be a little bit better than this one. People getting to understand it, especially small businesses. They're the last one to adopt things. And we're adding more tools to make it easier for you to sell. So stay tuned and happy holidays. Thank you very much.
Okay, bye-bye.